this here is, how much below surface is that? See the gap right in there? So that's how much low it is. And see how we got a gap right here? That means this is high. See right there, it's low. And then see, now it starts going up as we go up to taper over here. See the gap under there? So we know this is high through here, but we're nowhere low right here. It'll be over here. It's not. There's going to be a jump, but it's not low. They didn't cut it. It's just when you always weld two pieces of metal, it always puts a little divot right there next to the view. It takes a lot of effort to not have that divot in there. So when you machine this all flat, you're going to have a low spot right here. So you can take this stud out here, you can do it with a file and go back and forth like this until this gets down flatter. And you just have to put some 3-bond here or something, silicone to seal that area up. And you just drill and tap it, clean this up here so it looks like this, and you're good to go. Make it work. Or you can fix it correctly, weld it back up, and then go machine it in the mill. This here, you're going to machine this away so the plate will clear. So this has to be ground below surface, so your plate will go on here and be able to slide back and forth. All the stuff here, it has to be less than that. Now the center doesn't matter, but between here and here it has to be. You run your straight across that surface, you shouldn't hit anything. So when you're going like this here, see how this has got a gap in here? Because it's high. Yeah. So you have to grind this stuff all below the surface of this. And this area right through here needs to be ground down too. It could be low because you get all this other area to sit on. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, but you have to get this all low spot. All this has to get down lower than what you are here. Otherwise your transmission will come loose because it won't be torqued in there correctly. And it might actually break the case because all that pressure is pushing up on the case. Who knows how strong it is if it's all been welded. And it might re-break. So just grind all that stuff out of the grinder through there. So you don't have to worry about it right in here because the plate's hollow. Doesn't matter there. It only matters right up to this edge here. So right up to that point, it matters. So do all that. Take this out, put the correct plug in there. So this is I don't know what thread they got in here now. It used to be, the early bikes are fine thread. The late stuff went to a coarse, but this should be a fine thread. It's pre-war. What do you think they jammed in here?
Oh, Loctite. Well, silicone, huh?
Of course.
Yeah. Jeez.
Threads look alright. So I think this one came coarse, because the early ones they had a brass insert in here. So this is a later case, because it's got the coarse thread on it. I'm not sure what year they went to coarse thread, but they did go coarse later on. So you can use a stock coarse plug. I think it's like a 503 is Harley's number for it. So that takes that little cup-shaped copper washer or brass washer and a bolt. You know, the plug that goes in there, and then the factory plug will seal it up. So, but I don't. If this is a 38 case, it wouldn't have that. So this case is later. So I don't know what these codes mean. I don't believe all these codes anyway. They can all say what they want. So it's at a 6G or a G9 or who knows. Maybe it's 49 instead of 38.
2135. 1E.
Yeah, this is the cast number here. This is the date code. The foundry code, I should say. I don't necessarily a date code.
It looks like G9.
I've had a lot of people tell me different things, and I know they're full of shit. So. You can't have late parts with early codes on them, so they don't. The codes don't mean squat. I don't believe. The codes are not 100% accurate, so I don't believe them. Instead of being decade and day, it might be, or year, it might just be month and day, so it could be in a year. Yeah, who knows? People think that's a year and month. It's probably more like month and day. So, all right, pull back, you're too close. You get too close, it's hard to see shit. So, all right, so this one here needs a little work. So You can either just put this in a bunch of you know, Rust Doctor or Loctite's version or WD-40's version of Rust Doctor and get all the rust eaten away, and just put thick oil and run it.
Yeah.
Or you take it apart and fix it correctly. There's no seals on this tranny. See how the gear is right up here? See how the bushing's poking out of the gear? That bushing should not be poking out of the gear. That's not a good sign. See how loose the bushing is?
Yeah.
So there was no seal on these, so they're made to leak. Never had a seal on them. So it doesn't really matter, it's going to leak anyway. So, but it's, you know, this is where you use that sawdust in there and your bananas and whatever else you can put in there to take up the gaps. This is the kind of shit you need to do that for. That stuff actually does work for a while. It's not the best, but that's not the recommended way of rebuilding it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Now they have that STP engine rebuilder in a can. Put that in there. More high tech than, you know, bananas and sawdust. Doesn't work any better though. Works about the same. So that's what goes on there. This is actually a pretty big sprocket for this one. And this is a really nice sprocket too, so this can go right over here. So that looks like about a 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 23. 23, twice in a row. It's a 23. Yeah, that's a good low gear in for an old bike. Keeps the speed down to under 80. Oh well. Some guy called me on the phone. One of these. You want to sell us? Oh. Probably should beat it a little bit flatter than that. That's just a slinger. See, the oil comes off here. It slings into the primary instead of going out and leaking on the ground. And of course, you have the cork seal in the primary to seal up the edges that we don't know work. But then you notice how they put the hole right in the back of the primary to let the oil out. See that hole right there? That lets the oil out. And they had a fitting on here and had a line that went out, that came out about 6 inches and shot back and just ended.
Maintain those asphalt roads.
So that way the leak would leak right on the rear tire instead of over the side of the bike. But that's how you know it's original. It's got that hole in it. That means that's worth $100 to somebody. Original. Yeah, I would get rid of that. Now, see, when you put a lock washer here, how is it going to seal? Isn't that like a leak groove?
I think it welded up for me.
Weld up your lock washer? Yeah. Or weld up the leak in the case? Weld up the hole in the case and it won't leak anymore? Alright. So what's the plan for this one?
Yeah, that one I'm not sure yet.
Not sure yet? Okay.
Probably trying to make it usable, right?
Well, we need to bleed the air off in the building, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Let's go bleed some air off. We're gonna work on the airlines today. So that means we stick it over here. We'll bleed some air off. We've got 100 pounds of air to get rid of.
That won't take long.
No, it's already bleeding off right now. Can you see?
No.
Yeah.
Can you?
I can't see either. Ah, it looks cleaner. Yep, that one rotated. You can put it in high gear. Someone's calling on the phone. I'm busy. Okay, that one won't go. Getting hard to turn with all that beads in there. hard to turn. Run out of air too. Out of gear. There we go. Alright, we can turn those two now. It's loose enough to still turn. I think we're losing air. Oh, a little rusty right there. Alright, we're back up. Alright, bring it up over here. Trying to get the muck cleaned out of the tranny, but the battery died on the camera. So, this all works free. So, the high gear and the counter shaft's all free, but the main shaft's frozen pretty hard. So, there's a ball bearing in there that's double shielded, and obviously it's full of rust. And it's got beads in there too. I got to make a revolution out of it, but it just won't turn. So it's bad, bad, bad. But either way, you can see the condition of the gear teeth are extra grooving for oil retention. See how the rust pit? Heavily rust pitted. That's on the stuff that came out. So. Anyway, they'll work. I just need to get the bearings out. You're going to need a new ball bearing over here for sure. I'm sure all these rollers are just crap, so you have to clean them all up. Put new bearings in there. The surface is going to look like this after you clean on the end with a bearing racer. So you can make a show bike out of it, you know, a garage clean. It's something you can take down the block a couple times, but it's not something you can ride any distance on.
I'll pick up the mail.
So what got me was, though, in the gear, I've never seen it before, that's actually cut away in there. I've never seen that done before. So that is something that is totally different. Obviously it's been cut that way, but I've never seen it like that before. Because my 38 transmission I got, or 39, it's got the, it didn't have that in there. So that's something weird. So something they did, obviously, they got more oil in there. That's right on top of the thrust washer, and the needle bearings are on right here, so it's letting oil in from both sides to lubricate it. So it's definitely different. Oh well, guess we're going to get. So like I said, the main shaft won't work, but everything else will work. Works, beads got in everything, so. That's probably beads, it goes everywhere. I didn't blast the outside of the case too much because I don't want to take off the factory original finish. But, oh well, there you go. 2 junk trannies.
Hey.
Yeah, 3. Got that one over there too. It's beautiful. Actually, this one's in pretty good shape still. It's not all rusty too bad in the inside. This one's still relatively smooth in there. There you go. It moves. Doesn't roll very well. The kicker is engaged. So you got the kicker is engaged right now. That has to be straight up to not being disengaged. Oh, it's disengaged. I'll try to rotate it. Oh, a little freer, see? See, that has to be disengaged either all the way up or all the way down. Otherwise it locks up everything. Shifts and everything?
And everything.
That's a runner.
Shit. You betcha.
Them 45s are bulletproof. Until I ride them, and I blow them up. I blow these things up every time I ride the bike. I've gone through so many of those early trainings in my 35 bike. Ridiculous. Alright, there you go. Early small bike, early big bike, and late big bike. There you go. Ain't good to go. I can't see no fancy finger signs over there. No, we don't do that. We have to raise the camera to show you. And then we got late big bike, a pile of crap.
Hey.
So this burns up the third gear in it. That's what they always do on these stupid M8
Some quality stuff there.
twin cam 6-speed bikes. I'll stay with the early stuff. So take a pile of crap like this, clean all the shit up, put it back together, and run right on down the road just fine. Do that with that late piece of crap. Alright, that's it for transmission 101.